Like to say hello, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a series that's coming up that's called Outside the Box, folks. And that's where you pretty much get to do what you want to do. That's where you get to hire as many as people as you want to hire. All right. That's where you start thinking outside the box and stop with what you've been programmed for so long that's saying, well, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to work this many hours and I'm going to save up and I'm going to come home and I'm going to do the same thing day in, day out, and your dreams go ignore it. You know, your vision, you never have one. The only vision that you continue to have, what you've been programmed, is to build someone else's empire. All right, so we in the Outside the Box series coming up, folks. It'll start or kick off, I should say, around the first days of June. So I'm just here to get as many as participants as possible, reaching out to the local shipyards, the local hospitals, nursing facilities, places where people work long hours, folks. Those in retail, those who are salaried, maybe a few hourly, but those who are very serious with thinking outside the box and doing something totally different. Again, if you like what you do and you want to stay there, folks. Do what you do. So I want to talk about it right now. Hired 100 times, never fire anybody. What does that mean? What am I talking about right here? Hired 100 times, never fire anyone. Well, you're going to do the hiring, or you'll have someone to hire 100, 200, however many that you can have, but you never fire anyone. Again, think outside the box. Don't think like the traditional business owner where somebody does something wrong, they don't show up, and then they're fired. Maybe they don't produce like they should. Maybe they have a bad attitude. Again, never fire anybody, folks. That is what's going on with the series right now. So I just want to give you an example on how you can hire 100 people. Think about that. You say, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to make all these different hours and I'm going to make money. And it seems good to a lot of folks, but you know that that's not what it is in terms of having peace in your mind, in terms of getting that relaxation. What do you say a lot of times? Well, you say, I can't wait to get an off day. All right. You say, I can't wait till I get off from work. Or when you're on your way to work, you say, I hate going into this place right now. I just don't feel like it. However, you know that when you're scheduled to work or do something, it's not about how you feel, but it's what you're going to do. But now it's time to take control of your life and do what you like doing, folks. So how do you hire a lot of people? Again, don't say quit your job. I wouldn't say that. I would say keep doing what you're doing. And then when you're able to sustain your own self, then that's when other decisions and other plans being made. So let's get into it. Let's say you work at USA Hospital. You can even say the infirmary. You can say Providence if you like, but we're just going to use some of the hospitals. Or, like I said, whatever, which one you work at, any facility. And let's say there are, I'm a low ball it just to keep the numbers simple. Let's say there are 40 people in there. Now we know it's more than 40 people there, or 40 employees. And let's say on average, RNs, I'm sure doctors make a little bit more, specialists make a little bit more as well. But let's just keep the numbers simple. And let's just say $25 an hour. All right? So 40 times 25 is what? $1,000. And let's say that is the typical paycheck for one person, right? And that's what they pay you. But again, outside the box is how you're going to think. So here we are going to put people in front of you. You may not even have to do all the training up front. They may not even really understand all the steps, but it doesn't matter, do it? It doesn't matter at this point, but we just thinking outside the box. And let's say we have 10 people that do the same thing. 10 times 1,000 is 10,000. And let's say you made this off of your job, but the hospital will pay 10 people that. But let's say you did what they did. And let's say you paid $25 an hour and you did what they did, right? And you paid 10,000. Now we know if you're making 25 an hour or 10 people are making 25 an hour, we know they are making a lot more than that. It could be 100, it could be 200, who knows? But let's say the number is, to keep the number simple again, it's just double. Let's just 50 an hour, right? So if they paid 10,000, they would make 10,000 after they paid out to 10,000. All right? So that's what we're going to be going over. That's what we're going to be teaching and modeling with the thinking outside the box. All right? So it's very, very important. We must think like the hospitals do. We must think like the grocery stores do. Grocery store pays somebody $10 an hour, they're probably going to make 20, 30, even 40 an hour. However, you must get out of the mindset of just being like an employee. I go to work, I get this, I come home. I go to work, I get this, and I come home. Where you're trading time for money. The same can go for industrial plants. The list go on and on, folks. Many different plants on the Gulf Coast. You know, you have Austal, you have Ingalls, right? Many others along the way, folks. So the idea is to think like a business owner, you know, being outside the box versus staying inside the box. Again, you live in a box where you're at your home, you get in a box, your car, and then you go to a box, and then you come home and you do the same thing in and day out. How about living outside the box, or being outside the box, or thinking outside the box, so you can really, really do what it is you're put on this earth to do? All right? Many of you have great inspirations. However, a lot of times you're tied up to things that you don't want to do. Now, you might, you know, pretend a lot of time and say, well, yeah, I love it, and maybe you do. But what if you can do something on a bigger scale? All right? So hopefully you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share the video with many of your workers as well. Again, this will kick off during the 1st of June. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. All right? So thank you so much for listening. More content is coming. More explanation and content will be given as well. Leave me some questions, comments. Those who have my direct line, feel free to contact.